So this one is the first one that I printed, and after I printed, I thought this part was a little too light, and actually it makes too much green in there, so it gets kind of, instead of yellow, ochre, brown, I got little green, but I just did it. You can change the ink, and you have to be careful how much you put certain ink. I was in a hurry and maybe did too much. And after this though, if I was good, I could stop, mix the ink. But anyway, so now I'm gonna print the blue, and I'm gonna actually print really light blue here, more trans base, and the top part I'm gonna make it opaque. So I mixed white and slightly red, made it like a purple. So I'm gonna do gradients of purplish blue to really light blue. And so this is my screen that I washed. So I'm gonna make gradients here. So this case it's this way, so the purplish blue with white in there, so it's opaque, and the other one's kind of transparent. Because if I don't have transparent blue here, you really can't see the houses, and I want it, you know, the town or house to show up as a silhouette. So something about gradients, you can only make in one direction. You have to intentionally making everything, meaning the way I'm setting the screen has to be this way. If I'm making the, you know, two color merge in the middle, I could do it this way. What I'm saying is, if I wanted to make the gradients darker to lighter or whatever, I have to flip the screen 90 degrees so that gravity doesn't mix the ink. See, if I had a darker color and lighter color, and each time I print like that, the ink would ooze into the bottom. So what I'm saying is, if you're gonna have some image that has gradients in the different way, like this way, or great diagonal, whatever, diagonal you can. You just have to make the image diagonal and in the screen. Right, so diagonal. Okay, so things about diagonal. So if you have a layer like that, you know, color layer, one layer, and they have shapes that you want to have gradients, darker blue here, and maybe much lighter aqua type of blue or whatever. But these gonna be the gradients, like this. I'm just drawing everything, but you know, of course it's not gonna show up on this area. These are the things that you have cut out the stencil or do the photo emulsion or whatever. So the gradients is diagonal. Okay, what I'm saying is, when you are setting up the stencil, suppose this is stencil. When you're setting up the stencil, you make it like that. You make the stencil on the screen. You tape the screen like that, so you're printing this way. Or if you're exposing, you expose it diagonal like that. But in any rate, it's one direction. I mean, you can try doing like strange curvature, but I think it's very difficult. You could do transparent, and transparent this way and this way, you can. But anyway, so I just wanted to do simple gradients. I'm setting up the screen filler image, and I have the paper that has a key image registration underneath the miler. Okay. So making of the gradients, I'm just gonna have it right here. I hope it's showing. Okay, so the gradients. And this one's really transparent, like 40% transparent base. Maybe a little more. and you just mix with the squeezing. So you just do this. You kind of want to do a little bit of mixing before you start, otherwise your gradient's gonna be very, you know, acute. And if you like that, that's cool, but if you want the soft gradients, you want to mix it. But if you don't have space to mix it, if your image is like very close to like 2 inch up, you know, you need 2 inches at least, but you need to, you know, your image start 2 inches from the edge of the screen. What you do is you tape the mylar and you make the color on the mylar. You just have a, you know, piece of mylar here taped. You make the gradients on the mylar and you pull all the ink and remove the mylar. Okay, so this is my registration. So, but I'm gonna actually, there's some strange thing. Print on mylar. That strange white spot. I don't know what that is. What you could do, and what I'm gonna do, is since I want to take time for registration and I don't want the screen to dry, so I'm actually wiping. I didn't float it back, and I'm wiping with the dampened sponge from the back of my stencil. And this is kind of important for screen filler and photo emulsion. When you're doing paper stencil, you just float ink back. You just hope your screen won't be drying by the time you have good registration done. But when you're doing photo emulsion or screen filler, you could wash it, and if you can wash it, better wash it. But for screen filler though, I will not use any simple green or any cleaner. It's gonna probably break down. So I'm just using water and sponge. Good paper towel's good because it's good to take care of moisture really well at this point, so that you can start printing. And I'm gonna take time to do good registration too, because it's the last layer. One more extra wipe. Alright, so now I can move this paper under, and I'm looking at lines here, stars here, tail and I mean the ears and whatnot, should really match. Then 3 tabs. Same spot each time, each layer. By the way, I didn't talk about what happens if you lose registration in one of the layers. What you can do. Okay, it's so unfortunate, but if you lose one layer registration, suppose one of the clamp hinge wasn't tight, so it was moving or whatever, and you know, sometimes you're not aware and you finish that layer, and next layer you're gonna match in every single print is different. Well, one way to compensate that is you have a big piece of mylar meaning this clear film, and you actually tape it on the edge of your screen board, and you keep the tape there. You just tape and have the mylar here and tape it really well. And each time you print, you have it there and you put it back and you move the print under and set it and remove the mylar and you print. And you can do that too, but some people like to do that from the get-go. The thing is, it's gonna take more time. Now you have like 1, 2, 3, you just boom. Then you can keep printing, you don't have screen dry up. But if you just do each time, it's a little more time consuming, and especially if you have glue. And I'm gonna need a glue on this because this is such a large layer of ink. And if you have glue and if you're trying to move the paper each time very carefully, that's gonna be difficult. I'm gonna grab a crank and see if the registration is alright. So now I'm just trying to set the paper against this tabs that I just taped. Alright, so then I'm checking now. Looks okay to me. A little bit of white here, but I can't really put it down. I don't think, because right here there's an orange and you know the lines just butt against, and the stars are alright too. So right here I guess my painting job on the blue, I need it a little more. So I could actually put another one and see too. See, I can take any time. I mean, my screen's washed from the back, so my screen's not gonna dry up and I can take time to do this. And actually it's good to take time to do this now so that, you know, once I start I don't have to worry about. Alright. Yeah, same way. So right here there's a little bit of white here, and it's kind of, I don't know you can really see, but it's a bad angle. But what I'm saying, you could do this too. You could just, I don't know you can see it or not. It's too far, huh? You want to see all the layers good and kind of evenly overlapping. The trap is not too much on one side or the other. You can actually do this. You can you know, you can see I'm removing this blue layer to see how you know, like here the tails in the middle of the blue. This I can clean too. I'm just gonna, actually this is kind of scary inky spot near the registration. I don't want to wet that paper. You know, wetting the registration tab isn't gonna help the registration. So I just have a piece of, I don't know. Okay, let me see. I put the piece of paper towel here so that I can clean up the mylar. And this is gonna be my last color. So I dry back too, so this can go back to my jar that I have loads of mylar. Yeah, this is a kind of layer with a lot of ink that requires really to do the spray adhesive. And when you have something really, really sticky, newspaper will probably break and stuck on the board. Then if that happens, you just have to clean up. You just have to clean up with the, you know, glue cloth or something that you clean up the glue. I have glue gone, but anyway, so you clean it and then reapply. All right. So make sure those 3 spots are like just butt against. And that's good. Alright, so did you see what I did? Which was a mistake. You see how you see how this was wrong? I had to use it this way. But I got a little bit of ink, which I don't like. You see how right here I got darker blue and I got purplish. I just have to, I don't want the gradients to have. So that's one thing. When you're doing gradients, don't flip the squeezing. The squeeze has to kept in one direction. Alright, so I'm gonna just try to flood. Okay, some strange. I don't know what that is, but right here too. Oh wow, strange. Alright, it's better. It had a strange haze. As if ink had dried up or whatever without having any ink. So, yeah. Well, I think this image is like that. Okay, so I'm gonna print another color. This one was a little lighter, and I'll see how this is gonna be dark green. But this is it. Okay, you have to be paying attention to direction too, because I almost printed opposite, and I have done that. I have printed opposite and I printed on the table without having any paper, and that's not good. So I'm gonna add a little. It's actually kind of dangerous to do this when you have a paper. I'll just lift the screen a little bit with this tape while I mix. Okay, I'm gonna print again because it's just like a little smudginess. You know, somehow like little greasiness or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, double print actually good. I mean, it makes the image darker too. And you know, like I'm talking about like this white thing. I don't know what that was. And there's like little white thing here too. But you know, after this dry, I might actually do something like make that into I don't know, Saturn or UFO or whatever. So this was my last one, so I didn't float it back. Anyway, so this is the cleanup time, and it's kind of same thing. I don't know, like if you have to say, but I collect the ink as much as possible into this, you know, back into the containers, right? And I collect the ink from the screen too, and then I wash the screen with soapy water. And after that, I'm gonna have to wash out the screen filler, but that's a different demo. So I'm just scraping where is this color. Like I'm just kind of deciding this half or whatever. But there's nothing to peel. There's no paper to peel. Just because it's not paper stencil. This is the screen filler. Just dry, you know, just wipe the, you know, big blob of ink before using the sponge. If you decide to do screen filler for the second project, which isn't required, but if you want to do that for the last layer, you could blast screen filler off at school too. But my demo is going to be using the shower at home, because I really wanted to cover this process just in case we have to go back to home printing. So if that happens, like last semester we couldn't do anything, but this semester we're trying to you know, prepare things so that home printing is possible. That's why you guys are doing smaller screen and coarser screen so you can wash it without the pressure washer. This is actually 220 mesh count, but your screen should be 160. Smaller mesh or tighter mesh has a bigger number, right? And you know, you can get details, but it's easier to clog. And wider mesh or looser mesh, you can do as much detail or whatever, but it's easier to clean up, less cloggy, more ink.